I think the gap, sadly, is getting bigger. And you're saying the biggest gap has been 34. If it's 28 just now, you'd have to say there's a very good chance that'll be beaten come May. And it's disappointing because, I don't know what you thought, but at the start of the season, just the way Hearts were as a club, knowing how they'd progressed and, they'd into the group stage in Europe, and you thought they were really going to kick on, and Robbie Neilson spoken about trying to get them to that kind of next tier, if you like, that next level, and try to get closer to the Old Firm. You felt it might happen, though they might be able to close the gap. Even Aberdeen, when you saw the investment that they put into the squad, how they kind of started the season, guys like Majovski and Ramadani and people like that, and you thought, they could actually get up there as well, but it just hasn't panned out. And it's difficult to know how much of that is down to the poor performances of the other teams, how much it's about how good Rangers and Celtic are. Certainly at this moment in time, it feels like Celtic and Rangers have just stepped up a gear. They're just motoring now. As I say, since Beals came in, Rangers have been pretty relentless, and we've said that all along about Celtic. So very difficult for any of these teams now. Even to kind of put a dent into Rangers or Celtic in these games, the way they're scoring, just how prolific they are. So
I think Scott, just with Hearts, I think they've been victim to just, obviously they built up such a big lead in third at one point, but they were still a fair bit behind obviously the top two, and I think they probably just got themselves into a wee bit of a comfort zone. It was a bit of a limbo. I think, they weren't going to, at that point, they weren't going to be caught in it. They weren't going to catch up with Celtic and Rangers at the top. So
Europe probably didn't help them either, and the group stage.
Certainly not in the first half of the season, because the way they, obviously, you had so many injuries to contend with, and they were, quite a fair bit off third, sort of going into the World Cup break. But then they came out, their form after coming out the World Cup break was terrific. But at that point, when they got themselves into such a commanding lead, I think it'd be natural. Just their season was effectively done at that point. They were looking like they were on course for third, but the way that they've fallen off, I think it's 4 defeats in the last 5 is, has obviously opened the door. They've been unlucky that Hibs and Aberdeen have been a wee bit resurgent as well. So, it's an exciting sort of, finish that race for third. You didn't think you were going to have a race for third place, but just in terms of, I think what will be crucial is obviously Hearts getting into Europe and getting that, I think it was at £4 or £5 million that UEFA Conference League was worth to them. And that will be crucial going forward. And if you can get more teams into those European group stages, obviously I think we can get 5 teams into Europe next year. So if you can get some more of them getting in and getting that level of finance, I'm not saying it's going to bridge them the golf and finance is going to allow them to take over the Old Firm, but I think it'll allow them it'll be transformational money. Getting £5 million into the coffers every year for clubs like Hearts and Aberdeen and Hibs. That's huge sums for them, and it can allow them to reinvest in their team and keep hold of some of the better players. We've already seen Hearts, okay, they've dropped off a wee bit, but the way that they're planning now, that they're getting guys, the majority of the squad and deals for next year, longer term contracts, just allow them to plan that wee bit longer ahead rather than every year having to sort of rip the team up and start again. It seems to be the norm for a lot of Scottish teams. So I think that could be something that will be certainly, I'm not saying it's going to make the big difference, but I think it will go a long way to seeing these teams become more stable and more successful in the longer term.